The mountain doesn't care about your past, it only wants your next step. There's something powerful about standing at the bottom of a mountain. You look up, and there it is. Calm, quiet, and unmoved. It's not interested in your dreams, not bothered by your fears, and definitely not thinking about what happened yesterday. That brings me to the point. The mountain doesn't care who you were. It only cares about what you'll do next. Take Mount Humphreys, the highest peak in Arizona. It wasn't some final goal, a symbol, a piece of a bigger promise I made to myself. A promise to build a tougher, wiser, more resilient version of me. Not just stronger in body, but also in how I think, how I lead, and how I push through. I already knew I could reach the top of this mountain, but I was fighting a deeper battle. Kind of like when you're a few miles into a long run, your mind starts questioning what lies ahead and whether you're really ready. Can I really turn into that kind of person? The one who chooses the hard path, not just once, over and over again. That's not a small shift, it's a complete reset, a transformation, becoming someone who picks struggle over comfort and growth over praise. Becoming that version of yourself means saying goodbye to who you were. And that's not easy. The past feels safe. It's what we know. Even when it weighs us down, that old saying, the devil you know is better than the one you don't, starts to feel real. But the trail didn't care about any of that. It just looked back at me, asking only one thing. The mountain doesn't ask for your past, it asks for your next step. So we did what we came to do. We climbed. Not to prove something, to remind myself of who I'm becoming. Each stone underfoot, every strong wind, every burning step had meaning. Not to break me down, but to uncover what matters. To peel away what I don't need. To leave me open, sharp, and grounded. Out there are no cheats, no easy way up, no ride to the top. There's no pretending, it's just you, your breath, and one question. Will you keep going? Because again, the mountain doesn't ask for your past. It asks for your next step. As we pushed forward and the air grew thin and our legs got tired, something hit me. The higher I went, the lighter I felt. Not because the climb was easy, because each step took away a little more of the false image I had of myself, the version of me that I had been pretending to be. The extra weight I never really needed. Chasing a pretty view. I was letting go of an old identity, shaping a new one like carving stone, and when I got to the top, I didn't feel victorious. I felt real. Like, for the first time in a while, I was right where I was meant to be. Not because someone else said it, but because I had earned it. Because I had changed course, set my eyes on a new goal and followed it. There was no crowd waiting, no loud cheers, just wind, just quiet. But in that quiet, I heard it once more. The mountain doesn't ask for your past. It asks for your next step. And I stood there, thinking about life off the mountain. The struggles still ahead. The moments where I'll want to give up. The times I'll feel small. When I'll be tempted to fall back into the older version of me. Sleep in. Give up. Take the easy way. That old version. But now I have something I didn't before. Not a prize. Not a medal, a memory. A reminder of what happens when you ignore doubt. When you stop arguing with fear. You just take one more step. So maybe this isn't really about climbing mountains. Maybe it's about living, about changing. Because if you're waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to grow, that message won't come. Nobody's going to send you a sign. If you're holding onto your past for safety, you'll stay stuck. But if you can release it, trust the process, take just one step forward, you'll become someone the old you couldn't even imagine. And that's the goal. The mountain doesn't care where you've been. It just wants to see your next step. And life is the same. You might not be hiking up a real mountain today. There's probably one in your way. We all have them. Maybe for you it's leaving a job that no longer fits. Or piecing yourself back together after heartbreak. Maybe it's learning to forgive yourself. Starting fresh without a crowd cheering you on. It's the small steps people don't see. That's the truth. Of life's big moments aren't loud. There's no music, No spotlight, no grand build-up. They're quiet, they're small, and they're easy to miss. They show up every day. Your trail might be setting an early alarm for a goal. It might be stepping into a gym after years away. It might be speaking your truth or finally putting your name on something you care about. Whatever it is, it will ask you the same thing the mountain asked me. The world isn't asking for your past. It's waiting on your next step. So, are you ready? Here's the thing. Your past will do everything it can to stay in control. It'll bring up every mistake. It'll whisper, "You always give up. Why would this time be different?" It'll say, "You're not cut out for this." And if you listen, stay stuck. Growth isn't about waiting until you feel ready. It's about taking action, even when you don't feel it. Until one day, back and realize you've grown, you've changed. So, what's your next step? Not your whole plan for the next 10 years. Just one step, one move forward. Have to climb the entire mountain today. Just shift your weight and move forward. Because taking action quiets fear. Movement creates courage. And the path, however it looks for you, will show you who you're becoming. Take that step, even if your legs feel weak, even if your heart's racing, even if nobody else understands. Especially then, because life doesn't ask for your past. It only wants your next step. Sometimes life feels like it's ending. Maybe it's just the beginning of another version of you. That brings me back to right now. It's strange how something small can shake something that felt solid. This time, back spasms. A sharp pain when I breathe. It moves around from my upper back to my shoulder. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal. I figured it would pass in a few days. After all, getting older and lifting weights comes with little injuries. You deal with them, you move on. But now it's been nearly 3 weeks. Instead of getting better, it's getting worse. It hurts to lie down, it hurts to breathe. Even thinking about doing a pull-up feels wrong. And here's what surprised me. It really got to me. Been canceling workouts with friends, sending messages like, "Hey man, can't make it today." That Murph workout I was looking forward to, the one filled with pain and pride and progress, that moment with people I admire, gone, postponed, forgotten by everyone but me. This isn't just complaining. There's a point here. I feel unsteady, because for me, movement isn't just about staying fit. It's my clarity, rhythm. It holds everything else together. And now, without it, everything feels a bit off. I'm waking up later. No need to get up early for cardio, right? So mornings lose structure. Then I stop tracking my food. I skip the cold plunge a few times, then a few more. I open Instagram instead of writing in my notebook. Part of me that once burned with focus and drive, he's just a little quieter now, and that's when the wolves show up. Not suddenly, not all at once, but slowly, till they're everywhere. One whispers, "You're slipping." Another one walks in front of me. "Your momentum is gone. Get it back." One hides behind fake reasoning. "Maybe this is just who you are now." And the worst one, he doesn't say a thing, because he knows I already know. Makes this worse is that, for the first time in a long while, I had finally been feeling healthy. I had overcome so many things that used to hold me back. And now, watching my own belief in myself slowly fade, it's hard. That voice inside me that always said, "You've made it through worse. You'll get through this." Sometimes it's too faint to hear. But then came the turning point. And I love those moments. This morning, sitting alone on my balcony, I asked myself the question that really matters. I don't like who I'm becoming, where this is going. So, what now? Do I let this keep pulling me down? Or do I make this a new beginning? Because at the core, it's not any different from the mountain. It's the same question life always asks. Your next step, challenge in life. It feels massive and personal and complicated because, well, it's what's right in front of me now. But really, it's just another roadblock. Pain has a unique way of asking who you truly are. Not when things are going well, not when you're confident, but when you're hurting, The habits fall apart when your identity feels like it's slipping through your hands. And the wolves, they aren't the enemy. They're more like the test. They're an invitation, a challenge offered. And so this morning, I gave myself the choice not to run, of course, to lift weights. Can't do that, but to look that circle of wolves in the eye with calm, to stop wishing they'd vanish, and to face them directly and respond. Yes, I'm feeling some mental pressure, right? Poor me. Life carries on. Yes, I'm slowing down. Yes, in some ways I'm just holding off sliding backwards, but I'm still standing, still pumping air in my lungs, and ready to rebuild myself from the core. Again, it's not like I just heard I'll never walk again, right? Keep it in perspective, because the wolf isn't just some perfect version of me. It's who already lives inside. Who I become when everything is taken away. When normal life, routine, unease are gone, who do you become then? So if you feel them too, right? Those doubts, those quiet voices. If your momentum has stalled, if your identity seems like it's fading, this is your moment, not to escape or hide, but to rise, not to lay down, curse the world, and become the victim, but to face the wolves head on. Isn't about being strong when it's simple. It's about finding more strength when every part of you wants to disappear. When you're irritated and tired and all you notice are exits, when your guiding light is hidden behind clouds, that's when it really counts. When the wolves close in, become one of them. It was always an opportunity. It just wore the mask of a problem. Let me explain this clearly, because this shift in how you think can transform everything. Picture the seasons of your life where what you're facing feels so overwhelming that it's impossible to move through. Total chaos. Your body stuck in fight or flight. Feels like the world is collapsing around you, right? In the past, those moments made me feel ashamed, disappointed, sad even, for letting myself get there. I'd ask, how could I have not seen it coming? How could I be the one in this mess? This isn't good, so maybe I'm not good. You get what you give, right? What I've realized is that not only is that mindset completely unhelpful, it's just not true. Because those moments where it feels like everything is falling apart, that's when you're handed the biggest chance of all. We are not our past decisions. We are not what's happened to us. We are shaped by how we move through the storm. We're defined by how we stand back up. Those moments, yes, even the ones that feel like you can't breathe, that's when real life starts. But look deeper here. I'm not using fancy words. I don't mean this as a metaphor. I mean it literally. When we feel stuck, scared, hopeless, when we feel like everything's against us and there's nowhere to go, that's the moment when something new begins. Nobody escapes these moments. Life brings hardship. That's the cost of being alive. A few people, only a few, accept the invitation to turn the pain into something amazing. A rare few grab that opportunity and create a world that's entirely their own. Funny how a change in context changes how we see things, right? You thought life was just about waking up, meditating, jumping into your cold plunge when everything's going well, when the hardest decision of the day is whether or not to grab a coffee. That's not life. That's autopilot. Real life, it's how you show up when you're hurting, when you're getting crushed in the second half. Life is feeling confused, but not quitting. It's how you get up after losing someone close, when the business is struggling, when you're not sure how to pay the bills, when you're staring into the unknown, unsure how to keep going. That's when life grabs you and demands something. What will you do? That's the test. It's about learning not to take things too personally, but to see them as the doorway they really are. I won't pretend this is easy. But honestly, it's the only good choice we've got. Some people use the mountain to get tougher. Others build a camp at the bottom and dream about the top forever. So what will you do when it's sink or swim? What hidden strength will you call on? What will the fire inside you create? Of course, enjoy the good times. Them be what they are, a break from the climb. But don't lie to yourself and say that ease is the norm. No, the real chance is buried inside what once looked like despair. The purpose grows from the pain. The confidence builds when you walk just one step past the doubt that's always trying to pull you back. Now look, this isn't about lying to yourself. I'm not asking you to smile and pretend it's a sunny day while you're stuck in a storm. Asking you to see that these hard times are where everything can change. Darkness is a space where you get to be the light. Feel everything. That's part of it. Be human. If you combine those feelings with the truth, that you can use your past, your choices, your struggle, as raw material to build something strong, you'll surprise yourself. Living isn't about escaping pain. Living is becoming your best self even with the pain. It's using that hard road as a bridge to something better. The stars were always there. You just couldn't see them until the lights went out. So take that discomfort and make something from it. Use the fear, the worry, the sadness. Put it to work. While others freeze in place, you move through the fire and come out tougher. Where most see a wall, you chip away until you carve something meaningful from the stone. Most stories end, yours begins. And that's why the world will open for you. It wasn't handed over. It was earned one so-called problem at a time. You're not for everyone, and that's perfectly fine. That simple truth, let's call it, has made a big difference in how I see life and myself. Especially in those moments when you lose confidence in your path, when you forget the power you hold. And I want to share a pretty cool reminder of that. A few days back, grabbing lunch with a friend, very energetic guy. Let's just call him Friend for this story. He starts telling me about someone he's working with now. Let's name him John. My friend says, "Iddy, I'm learning a ton from John. He's bringing huge value to what I do. I can't even explain how much." But he also adds, he's loud, he's opinionated, he rubs some people the wrong way. Everyone likes him. And I'm connecting the dots here. Okay, John clearly upsets some people. You don't have to be a genius to get that. But then my friend says, still, he's amazing at what he does. Maybe even the best. And that's why I don't care. John isn't for everyone, but he doesn't need to be. You might hear that and think, okay, so your buddy hired a difficult person. But to me, it felt way bigger. Life was shouting that crucial reminder, be fully yourself instead of always trying to plan how people will react. Stop trying to shape other people's opinions. You're real, their response isn't yours to control and not your responsibility. Love John or hate John, he's 100% John. And because of that, he'll attract the right people. Because of that, he won't hide his spark. Because of that, John is free. Let me open up a little. I definitely have areas in my life, especially around my brand and what I create, where I could be bolder, take bigger chances. We all have our space where we play it a bit safe. That's mine. And I'd be lying if I said I don't sometimes try to shape my stories to make an impact. I know what connects, and I usually stay close to that zone. Even that can feel limiting, not careless, but maybe I could be a little more daring. That's the magic of this path. You are your own experiment. You're your own blueprint. Challenge in life. You know, it feels huge and personal and complicated because, well, it's what's right in front of me now. But honestly, it's just another hurdle. You know, pain has this strange way of asking you who you really are. Not when things are going great, not when you're strong, but when you're hurting, when your routines fall apart, your identity starts slipping through your hands. And the wolves, you know, they're not really the enemy. They're the test. They're the invitation, a hand reaching out. So this morning, I gave myself the choice not to run, not to lift, because I can't, but to face that circle of wolves calmly, to stop wishing they'd vanish, to look them in the eye and say, yes, I'm under some mental pressure. Poor me, life goes on. Yes, I'm losing speed. Yes, in a way I'm holding off from falling back. I'm still here. Blood in my body, breath in my chest, and ready to rebuild from the inside out. And again, it's not like I just found out I'll never walk again, right? Keep some perspective. Because the wolf isn't a dream version of me at my best. It's the one already inside. It's who I become when everything's been taken away. Comfort, routine, and normal disappear. Who do you become? So if you're feeling it too, those doubts, those whispers, if your progress feels stuck, if your sense of self seems to be fading, this is your moment. Not to hide or run, but to stand up. Don't collapse. Don't scream at the world and turn into the sheep. Meet the wolves where they are. Life isn't about being strong when it's simple. It's about growing stronger when every part of you wants to give up. When you're annoyed, discouraged, and all you see are exits. When your direction is covered by clouds, that's when it really counts. When the wolves surround you, you become one. It was always a chance, just wearing the mask of a challenge. Let me explain this better, because once you understand it, everything changes. Picture those times in life where what's in front of you feels too big, like it's too much to handle. It's non-stop stress, constant fight or flight. It's like the walls are squeezing in around you. And in the past, I'd feel guilt, disappointment, sadness. Like, how did I let this happen? Why wasn't I more prepared? How am I the guy who ended up here? This can't be good, so I must not be good. You get what you give, right? What I've come to see is that way of thinking isn't just harmful, it's wrong. Because it's in those exact moments when everything feels like it's falling apart that we are handed the biggest gift of all. We are not the choices we made before. We're not our old circumstances. We are what we choose to do in the middle of the mess. We are defined by how we get back up and keep going. Those exact moments, the ones where it feels like you can't breathe, that's when life truly begins. Don't just hear this as a metaphor, okay? I'm not trying to make this poetic or clever. I mean this literally. When you feel lost, stuck, scared, the odds are against you. When every path seems blocked, that's when something real starts. That's when the universe hits play, and the story begins. And look, Buddy avoids these times. Struggle and pain, they come with being alive. That's the deal. But a few people, just a few, accept the challenge to turn that pain into something powerful. A select few take the ticket and enter a world they choose to create. It's wild how just seeing things differently changes everything. You thought life was just getting up, doing your morning routine, hitting the cold plunge, making decisions like, do I want coffee or not today? That's not life. That's autopilot. Life is what happens when you're broken, when you're losing by 25 at halftime. Life is when you're grieving but still moving forward. It's how you get back up when you lose someone close. When your business is falling apart, you can't figure out how to keep going, but you go anyway. Life is when reality grabs your shirt collar and shakes you. What do you do then? That's life. It's learning to never take the pain personally, but still seeing the chance it gives you. And I'm not saying it's simple, but I am saying it's the only path that's worth it. Some people climb the mountain to grow. Others stay at the bottom, always looking up, dreaming. What do you do when it's either sink or swim? What strength do you find in yourself? Do you shape from that fire? Let the good times be good. Let the peaceful moments be enjoyed. They give us rest. But don't fool yourself into thinking ease is the goal. The greatest chances will come disguised as hard times. The meaning will rise from pain. The belief in yourself will grow as you keep walking, one step ahead of fear. And remember, this isn't about pretending. I'm not asking you to smile and act like everything's great when it's not. I'm saying, just recognize that the real turning points are born in the storm. Darkness is the chance for you to shine. Feel your emotions. Be human. Also know that you can take all of that pain and confusion and past choices and turn them into what you need to move forward. That's how you grow stronger than you thought possible. Living isn't being pain-free. Living is becoming something amazing even with the pain. Using your lowest moments to rise to your highest. Reaching for the stars you couldn't even see when the lights were on. So take the discomfort and use it to build. Let your pain, your stress, your fear work for you. While others freeze, you'll shape the struggle into something amazing. Where most people give up, your journey will begin. That's why the world will be yours. Not handed to you, but earned, one so-called problem at a time. You are not for everyone, and that's totally fine. That's a simple truth I've learned over time, and it's made a big difference in how I see others and myself. It helps the most when you've lost your way a bit. You've forgotten how strong you really are. Let me tell you a quick story about that. A few days ago, I had lunch with a friend, super charismatic guy. For this story, call him friend. He was telling me about someone new he's working with. Let's call him John. My friend goes, I'm learning so much from John. He's really helping my business grow. I can't even explain how valuable he is. But he's loud. He's bold. He doesn't sit well with everyone. Some people just don't like him. I'm listening and thinking, okay, John clearly gets under people's skin. But then my friend says, but he's the best at what he does. Maybe the best I've ever seen. So I don't care. John doesn't have to be for everyone. Now maybe you hear that and think, okay, your friend works with someone kind of annoying, big deal. But to me, it felt deeper, like life was shouting a reminder, be fully yourself. Waste time trying to shape how others see you. When you're being real, their reaction isn't your job. Love John or hate John, he's all in on being John. That's why he finds his people. That's why he doesn't hold back or hide his light. That's why he's free. Quick peek inside my own mind. I've got areas in my life, like my brand or content creation, where I know I could be braver. I could take more risks. We all have our own version of that, right? That's mine. And yeah, sometimes try to shape my message based on what will land best. I know what people respond to, and that can put limits on you. Never reckless with it, but maybe I could be more bold sometimes. That's the fun of this whole thing. You are your own test run. You're the experiment.